My parents didn't have a lot of money, but they loved to go camping. So we camped like all over the place. That was like our vacations. We would all pack into the car. My dad would get us up at like 4 in the morning. And back then there were no seat belts, and we had this old Oldsmobile, and the back seat was huge. And my mom would take all the sleeping bags and she would pack them on the floor, and she would turn the back seat into like this big play area. And so we would get up in the morning and we would get in the car, and my brother and I would beat up on each other in the back. But we had so much fun camping, and today, to this day, I still love to go camping. Love to take people out. I love to have campfires at night and tell spooky stories and just have fun. So that's from my childhood, from my dad wanting us to do something cool as kids and do something as a family. Maybe my favorite thing of being a teacher is that I learn something from my students every day. And I think when you're open to that, it makes a really cool exchange of information. Because you guys have lots of cool things to add to any conversation or to any subject. And it's really cool to learn those things from you. The other thing I love about teaching is coming to high school graduation. Because even though I have you in 4th grade or middle school, to see you guys as grown-ups walk in that stage is like, those are my babies, look at them. I mean, you guys probably don't even remember a lot of your teachers when you get to be a senior. You've had a lot of them. But for us as your teachers, we remember you and we don't forget. And for a class like this class that I have a lot of kids in, it's just so exciting to watch you guys graduate and to know you're taking that next step into the real world, and that you did it and you got there. That's amazing and awesome. I'm the crazy lady in the back going, way to go! And they go, who's that lady? She's the crazy lady screaming at me back there. Because I remember how hard you had to work to get where you are. I was terrified. I was at school, and the doctor called me and told me I had cancer. And I just wanted to go run and tell Mr. Collins, who was teaching. And I knew I really shouldn't, because that was going to ruin his day. I did eventually go tell him because I had to tell somebody. I think it changes your whole life when you find out you have cancer. It becomes like it just never leaves your mind. It's almost always there. Even now that I'm in remission, I still think about it pretty much every day. It just makes you appreciate everything and to realize that most of us don't realize that we don't know how many days we have on this planet. But when something like cancer happens, it really makes you so aware that you better make every day count. This is a good one. When my first husband passed away, it's been about a year, and my friend said, you should start dating again. I said, I don't know. He said, well, why don't you put up one of those things on the internet? Why don't you do one of those internet dating things? And I said, oh, okay. So I made a list, and I met a couple of creeps. And then my friend said, why don't you put it up and don't put your picture up? Just put what you're looking for up. Because if it's somebody who's really interested in you, they'll ask for your picture later, but they'll be more interested in who you are than in what you look like. So I made this list like this of everything I was looking for in a guy. And I put it up on the internet, and I got one answer. And it was Mr. Collins. And he was so funny because he doesn't type very well. And we were IMing each other on the computer. And he said, I hate typing. Could I call you? And I said, oh, I'm not giving you my number, but you can give me yours. Because I didn't know him, I hadn't met him yet. So I called him, and we talked for an hour and a half on the phone. And then we made a date to meet at a restaurant right next to the mall, because it was Christmas time, and I took my kids to go Christmas shopping at the mall, so I dropped them off. And I went out and I met him at this restaurant in Santa Rosa. And when I first got there, I was early, and I was sitting there, and I was like looking for him, thinking he was there, because I was thinking I was a little bit late. And there was this guy sitting on the other side of the restaurant all by himself. And I thought, oh, is that him? Huh. And I'm looking at him and I'm smiling at him. And then his wife came back and sat down. I was like, oh, that's not him. So he came about 5 minutes later and we had our first lunch together. And then we walked to the mall and he held my hand all the way to the mall. And then we went shopping and he carried all my packages for me through the mall. And he was just so sweet. And then when we met each other's kids because we're all in the mall together. And then when he left after that first date, I got in the car and my daughter said, did you like him? I said, oh, he was really nice. I really liked him. I hope he'll call me again. And he was walking away and I kept hoping he would like turn back and look at me. And he didn't. And I was like, oh, man, I don't think he's ever going to call me again. 2 days later, he called me. And that was pretty much it. We just started dating. On New Year's Eve, we had our first kiss. On the top of a parking structure on first night. They used to have first night in Santa Rosa, and they had all these great things. So we went and watched the fireworks. And that was it. We were dating after that and got married a year later. I think to be kind. I think that's probably the best advice I've had, because there's so many times in life where it's so tempting to say something sarcastic or to be mean to somebody who's frustrated you. So I think the most important thing is to stop yourself and realize you need to be kind to people.
Hi, my name is Nicole Rosa.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Spitia.
Hi, my name is Inela Gudiño.
Hi, my name is Carla Lopez.